Picture this. I come up to you and tell you I make $20,000 a year. My buddy, let's call him Mike, says he pulls in $80,000 a year. Who do you think is better off, me or Mike? At first glance, Mike seems richer, right? He makes 4 times what I do. But let's look at it from a different angle. Sure, I make $20,000 a year, but I only put in 10 hours a week for that. Mike brings home $80,000, but he's grinding 80 hours a week. So, who's actually better off? If you crunch the numbers, there are 52 weeks in a year. My hourly rate comes out to $38. Mike's is just $19 an hour. Let's make it even more interesting. Mike lives in New York City. He can't pull in that kind of cash anywhere else, and he's pretty much tied to the city. He's stuck with those 80-hour weeks and New York's sky-high cost of living. But I'm location independent. I can make the same money anywhere there's Wi-Fi. Plus, if Mike grabs a bite in New York, he's probably paying double what I'd pay in my town. I live somewhere surrounded by nature, where things are way cheaper, but I still get all the perks of modern life. So, who's really better off? At first, it looks like Mike's 4 times richer than me, but once you factor in expenses, I actually come out ahead. Let's take it a step further. Imagine I offer you a job that pays $10,000 a month. Sounds awesome, right? But in that place, a loaf of bread runs you $100, and Uncle Sam takes 40% in taxes. Still sound like a sweet deal? Wealth isn't just about what you make, it's about what you keep and how much freedom you've got. What do you actually get for your money? What's the trade-off? How much of your time does it cost? To put it simply, would you rather earn dollars and spend in a country where your money goes further, or earn local cash and have your expenses in dollars? Escaping the 9-to-5 grind. For some folks, it's more like 8 to 6, working from anywhere, being truly free. Wouldn't you want to join the ranks of the new rich? You might be thinking, is this just another scam or one of those get-rich-quick schemes? Most people haven't even heard of these ideas. A lot of folks think it's pretty much impossible, especially if you're used to the regular 9-to-5 grind. It's not easy, but it's totally possible. Honestly, I thought it was impossible at first too, but when I gave these methods a shot in my own life, I realized they actually work. You probably put in at least 40 hours a week, maybe even more. You're always wiped out, always stressed. Wouldn't it be awesome to break free from that grind? But it feels tough. You're stuck in your job, but you still need that paycheck. There's actually a formula for breaking out of the rat race. Let's check out the approach from the 4-hour workweek. The book talks about the new rich, folks defined by financial freedom. They're not tied down. They get to choose where to go and what to do. Sounds pretty sweet, right? So, what does it take to join the New Rich Club? The New Rich have cracked the code. You need 2 things, more freedom and more free time. It might sound a little out there, but we've got to carve out space for ourselves. The truth is, this freedom and free time is totally possible. We just don't realize it yet. If you've been hanging out with us on this channel for a bit, you already know I've brought up this topic more than a few times. Still, it's worth bringing up again. Everyone forgets sometimes, and we all need a little nudge now and then. Plus, I want to give you a new take on this principle. Take a second and think about your own day-to-day. Are you actually getting things done, or just keeping busy with random tasks? Most folks in the US are expected to put in a standard 8-hour workday. Because of that, a lot of people end up just checking off boxes instead of being truly productive. You know the drill. Organizing your inbox, firing off emails, picking up calls, or just wandering around the office to look busy. And let's be real, the person who looks the busiest is usually the one who gets noticed or lands the next promotion. For a lot of people, it's all about clocking in the hours, not about what they actually accomplish. Here's the deal. About 80% of what you do probably doesn't actually matter. Yeah, that's a pretty bold statement, but stick with me. It's true for most of us. Just because you're putting in the hours doesn't mean you're working on the right stuff, or even doing it well. Honestly, it's usually the other way around. The more time we have to get something done, the more we end up dragging it out. That's what Parkinson's Law is all about. Work stretches to fill whatever time you give it. If you only have an hour to wrap up a project, you'll get it done in an hour. But if you block off your whole afternoon, you'll probably use up all 4 hours. Don't just shrug this off. Here's what I really want you to take away. You've got to figure out the 20% of your tasks that give you 80% of your results and make those your main focus. That means cutting out anything that doesn't move you closer to your goals. If you're with me so far, awesome. Now, let's get into the next step. So, how do you figure out which tasks actually matter? Go down your to-do list and, for each item, ask yourself, if this was the only thing I got done today, would I feel good about it? If the answer's no, then it's time to ditch that task. You've also got to watch out for interruptions. They can totally mess with your focus and keep you from knocking out important stuff. The worst time wasters are the ones that suck up your time before you even realize it. Basically, if skipping something wouldn't cause any real issues, it's a time waster. The usual suspects: scrolling the web, replying to pointless emails, unnecessary phone calls, and those meetings that could have been an email. All these time drains can and should be cut out. Let's zero in on one: email. One easy way to start cutting down on email is to check and reply just twice a day, once after lunch and once in the evening. If you can swing that, why not take it up a notch? Try checking your email just once a day, or even just once a week. When you do this, let your friends, family, and co-workers know what's up. Set up an out-of-office reply saying you're limiting your email time, so replies might take a bit longer. People will get used to it, and you'll see that most emails can wait while you focus on what actually matters. If something's really urgent, folks can always call or just swing by your desk. I used email as an example, but you can totally use this trick for other tasks too. Just to be clear, we're not at a 4-hour workweek yet. The road to real freedom is still ahead of us. You've set your goals and ditched all the distractions and time wasters. Now, you're way more productive. You can get done in 10 hours what your coworkers take 40 hours to finish. But here's the thing, most companies reward looking busy, not actually being productive. So, even if you wrap up your work fast, they still expect you to clock in 40 hours a week. The answer? Get out of the office. That way, you're not just working less, you can work from anywhere you want. The book I'm talking about shares some tips for working from home. Basically, it's all about showing your boss you can crush your job just as well from home a couple days a week. Some folks can pull this off, but honestly, if your company's got strict policies, convincing your boss or manager to let you work remotely isn't always a walk in the park. So here's my take. Use any extra time you've got at the office to laser focus on your own goals. If you manage your time right, you'll finish your office work early. After that, the rest of your time is all yours. Not everyone works a desk job, but whatever you do, if you find ways to save time and use it wisely, everything changes. I call those your golden hours. Want to sell on Etsy? Jump online and learn how. Want to find a stock that'll 10x your money? Start digging into financial reports. Want to become a YouTuber? Watch how the top creators make their videos. If you can talk your boss into letting you work from home even once a week, that's awesome. If not, try the alternative I mentioned. It'll help. This is the next level. It means having a business that keeps running even when you're not there. It's kinda like owning a factory, right? In some ways, that's exactly what you need. You've got to separate the time you spend working from the money you make. In other words, your system needs to be automated. You want to build a business that runs itself with zero effort from you. Let me give you a real-life example. When I started my YouTube channel, I put in a crazy amount of work. Creating content and editing videos ate up all my time. I was using my mouse so much my right hand almost went numb. I knew I had to push through for a while, but eventually, I made it. Sure, there's still a long way to go, but I'm proud of the progress. Now, just like the book says, I'm working on automating my YouTube channel. I've started hiring people to edit my videos. Sure, it costs money, but it frees me up to focus on what matters most. You might worry about the cost, but think about it this way. Let's say you make $25 an hour, and the editing service charges $30 an hour. That means every hour you outsource only costs you an extra $5. In other words, for just $40, you could take a whole Friday off. How you set this up in your own business is totally up to you, but your next move should be to minimize how much you need to step in. That way, you get more time for yourself and can focus on what really matters. Spending the rest of your life stuck in an office or at your current job, it honestly feels like modern-day slavery. We're boxed in by four walls. These days, it's not chains holding us back, it's computer screens, and we can't leave until the clock hits 5. Even when we finally make it home, we're still replaying the day's drama in our heads. Before you know it, years have flown by. Is your boss, your modern-day master, always going to call the shots? Throwing on a suit might change how you look, but it doesn't change the game. If you don't play by the rules, there are consequences. There's the fear of not being able to put food on the table. You've got family counting on you back home. So, how's this supposed to work? I can't promise this video will fix all your problems. My goal is to throw you a lifeline, to save myself and help others do the same. I truly believe real freedom comes from helping others break free too. These aren't just fancy words. These are real steps you can take, but what you do with them, that's totally up to you, because I don't know you. The real question is, do you really know yourself? Do you know what you want, or what you definitely don't want? Start by getting to know yourself, then make a plan, a dream plan. Write down everything you want to achieve in the next 6 months. List out everything you want to do and who you want to become. Figure out how much it'll cost you each month to live that life. When you're finally living as your best self, what will your monthly expenses look like? Based on that, set your target monthly income. Now you've got a real number to aim for, the number that'll get you closer to your dream life. After that, just focus on one thing. Today. What's the one thing you can do today to get a step closer to your goal? If you do that one thing every single day, you'll eventually crack the code. Are you spending your weekends and free time just trying to escape the stress of your job? Or are you using that time to break free from your job for good? The first way is passive. The second is taking charge. The past is gone, and the future's up in the air. The only thing you really have is today. So make sure you shine today, especially in spite of anyone who says, you can't do it.